from Dubodo in Painesville. Good evening and welcome to News Desk 45 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and elsewhere. Today is Tuesday, November 7, 2023. My name is Henson Daka, presenting in the headlines. With about 7 days to a presidential round of election in Liberia, terrorist grassroots development movement Standard Bearer Edward Appleton pledges support to opposition Unity Party of Ambassador Joseph Walker. Says they share the same vision for Liberia. Three civil society organizations in Liberia expressed concern over elections irregularities in District 2 Maryland County involving House Speaker Dr. Bava Chambers and Representative Kennedy Anthony Williams, as the county traditional leaders accuse Senator James Barney of being the mastermind of the art. National Patriotic Party Chairman George Maba condemns the holding of political rallies at health centers across the country, calls for political conversing to be kept away from health facilities for the general good of saving lives. And away from home, family members of popular Nigerian comic actor John Okafor, better known as Mr. Ibu, say his leg has been amputated for medical reasons. The details of these developments, the news bulletin, the voices of the newsmakers post are anticipated on the news program. We take a break to read. Thanks for being with us. Last night, John Oliver Brown. We're going to set the pace with the news bulletin and the foreign development. Good evening, Oliver.
Good evening, Hussein, and good evening to all. Third place grassroots development movement Standard Bearer Edward Appleton has endorsed the Unity Party prior to the run of election. Appleton, who came third in the just ended October 10 election, endorsing the Unity Party, said after an in-house voting done by the executives of the GDM as it relates to who to support in the runoff election, 70% of the votes went in favor of the Unity Party. According to Appleton, the Unity Party bears the same ideology of the GDM as such. Their decision to endorse the Unity Party is to choose a leader under whose leadership Nigeria will transform for the general good of its citizens. It's the endorsement, Unity Party Standard Bearer Joseph Walker lauded the GDM Standard Bearer for this step taken. According to the Unity Party Standard Bearer, the fight to rescue Liberia is that which concern all citizens. Ambassador Walker meanwhile assured the supporters that their votes will be protected during the runoff election. Meanwhile, the heads three civil society organizations in Liberia have expressed serious concern over alleged elections irregularities in District Number 2 Maryland County involving House Speaker Dr. Chambers and one of the representative candidates, Anthony Williams. The group includes the Patriotic Commissioners Association of Liberia, Political Action Bureau, and Media Action Secretariat. The group also commended Dr. Chambers for seeking legal redress following his disagreement with some strange electoral activities in Plibo-Sodokan district affecting the results of the election. According to the group, despite Speaker Chambers' position in government, he has regarded the rule of law, something that the three civil society groups said others in the past in government who have taken the electoral matters into their own hands, the rule of law as a vital for contemporary democracy. Speaking at the joint press conference in Monrovia, the Patriotic Consciousness Association of Liberia through Fetre Bay encouraged Liberians to also follow the path of Speaker Chambers in seeking legal redress and resolving their grievances. Bay is therefore calling on authorities of the National Elections Commission to dispense justice into election cases freely and fairly on account of the NEC being the cradle for electoral disputes across the country. Meanwhile, the heads of the Traditional Council in Maryland County have refuted statements from some individuals coming that's claiming to be leaders of the council who threatened to vote against President George Weah in the November 14th runoff election should the CDC's government tampers with the election method in Maryland County District Number 2. Recently, some traditional leaders in Maryland County allegedly representing over 32 towns in Plebo-Sodokan district, claimed that House Speaker Buffer Chambers has been using his connections with the CDC in spreading false information about the breaking of Bushmaster town during the October 10, 2023 elections. But making the clarification Monday in the county, the head of the Traditional Council in Maryland, Chief Edward Kuwait debunked the statement from the group headed by one Christian worker. According to Chief Kuwait, worker and others were seen campaigning for Anthony Williams during the October 10 elections and that they had all compromised and view do not represent any decision for the traditional people of Maryland County. Chief Edward Kuwait also accused Senator James Barney for being the mastermind behind said plan by threatening traditional action against members of the group. NPP's national chairman, George Moba, has condemned the holding of political rallies at health centers across the country. Moba said why it is everyone's right to take a side in an election, he wants political canvassing be kept away from health facilities for the general good of saving lives. In a video that went viral, a Bond County health worker identified as Mato Morris sanctifying Representative Marvin Cole that she would campaign for the Unity Party at health facilities as being done by Health Minister and Representative Cole himself. He said political rally at health facilities is not only counterproductive, but life-threatening at the detriment of patients awaiting treatment. The NPP's chairman, who is also the acting Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority, therefore rubbished speculations that the government has denied the opposition Unity Party from flying in a helicopter for its runoff campaign activities. Moba has challenged the Unity Party to show proof that an application was made and denied. The CAA was followed by disclosing that we as government will not compromise its safety protocols in flying aircraft and called on the UP to follow the protocols, which include origin of the craft, airworthiness, and permit to use Liberia's airspace. Authorities of the National Chiefs and Elders Council of Liberia have disclosed the arrest of several individuals in District Number 4, Niba County, in connection to an alleged disruption of electoral activities during the October 10 presidential and legislative elections. The chairman of the council, Chief Izansa Kawa, said investigation is also ongoing in Maryland County, District Number 2, as it relates to Bushmaster's alleged tampering with ballot boxes during the October 10 presidential and legislative elections in that southeastern county. Speaking at a press conference Tuesday in Monrovia, Chief Kawa reaffirmed the council's commitment to the suspension of traditional practices across the country aimed at allowing individuals go about campaigning without intimidation. According to him, Ahead of the November 4th runoff election, the council has begun the deployment of traditional inspectors across the country to make sure the election is free, fair, transparent, and void of traditional interference. Chief Zansankawa is therefore admonishing political actors in the country to desist from making statements that could incite their followers to cause violence during the pending runoff election. Meanwhile, the council, through its chairman, Zanzankawa, used the medium to thank international partners, including EU, for their support to the elections process in the country. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has refuted viral social media video of a lady identified as Ryan Cummins Wilson claiming to be an employee of the permanent mission of the Republic of Liberia to the United Nations and being witch hunt by Foreign Minister Maxwell Kimia. In a release issued by the ministry Tuesday, the ministry noted that Madam Wilson is not an employee of the permanent mission of the Republic of Liberia to the United Nations, as she wants the public to believe, but rather was accepted as an apprentice. The release furthered that her request was accepted by the mission based on her plea to be with the mission for opportunity to learn more about the United Nations system. According to the release, on June 7 of this year, the ministry informed and reminded Madam Wilson to submit all relevant documents to enable the ministry to regularize her employment status at the permanent mission of the Republic of Liberia to the United Nations, but the ministry reminded her about the protocol of the host country. Lafayette have termed as troubling what appears to be a leaked plan by election authorities in Lofa to overturn the election results in favor of defeated candidate Moses Colley. The Board of Commissioners of the National Elections Commission has since announced Momo Saras as winner with 421 vote margin ahead of his CDC rival Moses Colley. But in the reported league chart, with lower Lofa election magistrate Robert Sully, defeated candidate Moses Colley is seeking an overturn of the results for an election commissioner's position as a reward for the alleged criminal plan. Magistrate Sully in the WhatsApp chat is soliciting 3 million Liberian dollars to execute the action, an amount candidate Colley reportedly said was too high, but however promised to pay a little over $2.7 million in local currency. In the league chart, which is in the possession of this station, Magistrate Sully is allegedly giving a lead way to Colley on how to file his complaint and issues he should include said complaint, and he Magistrate Sully who do the rest, but admitting that it was a risky venture. When contacted, Magistrate Sully termed the league WhatsApp chat as a makeup and distraction by his enemies to his working as assigned to him as that's in Lofa. Lofa County Senator-elect Moses Cyrus says he will remain neutral in the pending presidential runoff election. His neutrality, according to the senator-elect, is due to what he calls the diverse nature of Cyrus, to movement that successfully ran his campaign in the just ended legislative election. The Lofa County Senator-elect encouraged his supporters, who he said are from various political parties, to vote their preferred choice between the two presidential candidates on November 14. Cyrus was announced winner of the October 10 senatorial election ahead of his rival Moses Colley of the CDC by 421 votes. Being neutral, he said, is a mark of respect to the diversity of Team Cyrus, a decision he said conforms to the One Lofa movement that was launched in 2020 when he contested the Lofa County midterm senatorial election. The Liberian fisheries sector got off to a good start under the leadership of President George Weah's government, with international partners and governments including the Japanese, the World Bank contributing physical cash and making materials donations. The World Bank has contributed over 40 million to fisheries infrastructure development in Liberia, as well as the government of Japan has donated several pieces of Yamaha motorized engines that have been distributed to fisheries cooperatives in the non-coastal counties as a means of ensuring continuation in the gains made in the Liberian fisheries sector under the CDC's-led government. The Director General of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority is rallying Liberians to turn out in mass on November 14, 2023 for the re-election of incumbent President George Weah. Madam Glasgow assured Liberians that President Weah's CDC government has the sufficient international connections that will lead to continuous development across the fisheries sector. With about 7 days to the November 14 runoff election, scores of residents of District Number 5 Montserrat County have pledged their support to the re-election bid of President George Weah. The residents, many of whom claimed to be members from various opposition political parties, said their decision is trickled by their personal relationship with Foreign Minister Maswa Kimia, who has peacefully lived with them over 3 years. The Montserrat County District Number 5 residents added that the presence of Foreign Minister Maswa Kimia in the district and being an official of the CDC's government, the district stands to benefit more development projects should President George Weah is re-elected. The chairperson of the board at the Angie Brooks International Center, Councillor Yvette Chison Wure, is admonishing traditional leaders in the country to halt their practices in the wake of electioneering period. Madame Wure said the utilization of the traditional cultural symbol has a critical role in traditional society, but noted it should not be allowed during the elections period. According to her, the use of Bushmaster, commonly known as country devil, is intimidating for non-members and undermines the conduct of a free, fair, and transparent elections. The Anchi's Brook International Center Board Chair has meanwhile commended the national chiefs and elders headed by Chief Zazan Kawa for reaffirming its commitment to suspending traditional practices until the elections are over, aimed at creating a level playing field for everyone. Over 1,000 women of District Number 3 Montserrat County have vowed to support the re-election date of President George Weah in November 14, 2023 runoff election. So women drawn from various village saving loans across the district said that decision is trickled by the support given to President George Weah by their former representative candidate, Patrick Komoya. Speaking on behalf of the women, Victoria Nambwed of the Women of Faith Blue Continue and Bintu Wilson said their respective groups were established years back by Patrick Komoya as a means of making them self-reliant. As such, they are set to reward him by following his decision. They noted that despite of the decision by the majority of the people of the district by electing Sumo Moba, they believe in the ideology of businessman Patrick Komoya. Away from Liberia, family members of popular Nigerian comic actor John Okafor, better known as Mr. Ibu, say his leg has been amputated for medical reasons. Doctors had no choice but to sever the limb to keep him alive, relatives say in a statement on his Instagram page. This development has been hard because all but we have had to accept it as that is new reality. It reads, we are saying that's the news collecting.
In development, the news bulletin. It is a regular feature on the news program. If you are just joining us, one of the top developments we are following. With about 7 days to the presidential runoff election in Liberia, third place grassroots development movement Standard Bearer Edward Appleton pledges support to opposition United Party. Ambassador Joseph Walker says they share the same vision for Liberia. Let's bring you the voices of the newsmakers. NPP National Chairman George Moba has condemned the holding of political rallies at health centers across the country. Moba said while it is everyone's right to take a side in any election, he wants political canvassing be kept away from health facilities for the general good of saving lives. Authorities of the National Chiefs and Elder Council of Liberia have disclosed the arrest of several individuals in District 4 name accounting in connection to an alleged disruption of electoral activities during the October 10 presidential legislative elections. The chairman of the council, Chief Zanzan Kawad, said investigation is also ongoing in Maryland County District 2 as it relates to Bushmaster alleged tampering with ballot boxes during the October 10 presidential and legislative elections in that southeastern county.
We want peaceful election. We don't want to arrive. Intimidate nobody. They started from me. I tell the G, the Zo, in Liberia, in the 15th country. And then thank you for my mandate for them to implement it. You can stand across there. Stand across there. You can hear all that. Because they are tough and leader of the people, then they don't talk. Leader. That they won't do that. The honor government custody by my mandate because the zone we grow the free so can benefit to come. Except after the election or next month, we have movement in there before we come that will come. You hear something in Maryland, that one day they go, they say such a thing that doesn't happen. They go to the number hero. I have control over Liberia because Liberia will come to God's structure and the hair. We are branching all over in the country. Then the country head and God branching in the district. Then the district head God branching in the genome. Then the genome head branching in the clan, in the village. I don't think that happened. My people not inform me. That one that is not correct. When anything happens in the country, they got to consult. They got to tell me. They will believe it. Why? Yeah, in this is. But we really checking. We're going back for election. Also, Ella, mother, sister, man, country. Kanda inspector, grand zone, grand zone. You who hear from me now? We're going by. They coming to say, I'm not hear nothing the way I live on the end. My walking say on nobody will bring the devil up on the election finish.
But why the council is chairman Zazan Kawal used the medium to thank international partners, including EU, for their support to the elections process in Liberia.
People from America, China, EU, everybody who suffer by the right to rapidly to come in Liberia. I tell them thank you for the country. The country will know that the people love the country, that why they come. For you to high election by the people to their own money to come help you for your election, attend a good thing. On behalf of the council of Liberia, I'm the representative of my people. The best from them, I tell them thank you so they can do that. Election Commission, I tell you thank you for the 5 rounds. Do your job. And you know we get you hard. But you know, use of wisdom to make the election in the Liberia because we don't got nowhere to go. And even if I tell the people thank you, because that election day they go out the border. When anything happen, we're all running yet. Because when the border they got trouble, then they run out where they go. I think the border coming to play again. Because Liberia people justice. We need togetherness. We need respect. Electoral Commission. And the government of Liberia, President Georgia, we tell you thank you. Opposition, we tell you thank you. All political parties, we tell you thank you. So for the 5th round, be there. Everybody vote. And in the meantime, some people will not get chance to vote. They won't come in there, everybody think of because they land along the game. That 2 was in now. River said, Nima Kande, Makibi, all over, Komi, Babulu, everybody will think of. But traditional people, your vote that your power, your vote that your development, your vote it will pay your country, your vote will bring peace in the country. You must know where you're supposed to put your vote. Myself talking at independent party for Agama part of right, voting right. They want where in my hand. When I put it somewhere, God want to go against the way I'm going to put it. Because everybody got a job. I'm going to hear. I love one hour. I love development. I love respect. I love people who have respect the father in the mother of the country. Because we are friendly. The people they are few. The native people we friendly that we in their country. Where we want. That one we can do in the country. So opposition, the ruling parties, green parties, the white parties, we call all benefits. And when the election commission get a result, you don't study fast. Don't put people on the street. Go to the law. When you go to the law, it will be
Chief Zanzak Kawad is the chairman of the National Chiefs and Elder Council of Liberia. 3 civil society organizations in Liberia have expressed concern over the alleged elections irregularities in District 2 Maryland County involving House Speaker Dr. Baba Chimels and one of the represented candidates, Anthony Williams. The group include the Patriotic Consciousness Association of Liberia Political Action Bureau and Media Action Secretariat. The group also condemns Dr. Chambers for seeking legal redress following his disagreement with some strange electoral activities in Plebo Sodican affecting the results of the election. Here is Frederick Bay, who read the press statement.
On account of Liberia's few democratic gains, we want to emphasize and recognize all electoral participants and candidates for trusting in the process leading to the general elections of October 10, 2023. We also want to caution all candidates confronting the results of the election, be it at the level of representatives, senatorial, or presidential, for their respective recourse to law. It is in this regard we call on all Liberians to take cognizance that the law is an important ingredient of democracy everywhere in the world. As such, we should all encourage anyone with electoral disagreements to always go to the law. In recent times, we have recorded multiple media reports from Maryland County in the Southeast, District 2 specifically, on account of election results, specifically affecting the representative position. In our respective institutions, as per democracy institutions, we are following keenly developments from Plebo, Solocan District 2 in Maryland County, involving Honorable Dr. Chambers, the current Speaker of the House of the 54th National Legislature, who participated in the election, including one Boymawa, one Anthony Williams, one Thomas Nime, among other participants in the process. On account of the developments we have received from Maryland County, Plebo Solocan District specifically, involving the Speaker of our Representative House, we have moved to classify the developments as a high-profile post-electoral disagreement. Thus, we take this moment to commend the Speaker of the 54th National Legislature, Honorable Dr. Baba Chambers, for seeking legal redress following his disagreement with some strange electoral activities in Plebo Solocan District affecting the results of the representative elections during the day and night of October 10, 2023, when the election process was being carried out. Based on Speaker Chambers' level in government, others in same position in government during years back who have taken the electoral matter into their own hands, leaving out the rule of law as a vital ingredient of contemporary democracy and resolution in our country. We as civil society actors in this country that have stood our grounds over the years, therefore encourage the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the statement Honorable Chambers to pursue a disagreement with the result of the elections from the district token, Maryland County, to a full legal logical conclusion for his action to use the rule of law have been recorded in books for subsequent history of some accounts of a Liberian democracy in times to come.
Frederick Big spoke on behalf of the 3 civil society organizations. Lofa County Senator-elect Momo Sarah says he will remain neutral in the pending presidential runoff election. His neutrality, according to the Senator-elect, is due to what he calls diverse nature of Team Saros, the movement that successfully ran his campaign in the just ended legislative election.
I'm encouraging everybody to vote on November 14th. It's a very key decision to make because the decision made on that day will last for 6 years. So we encourage all of us, citizens of Liberia. I want to be specifically concerned with Lofa. We want to come out and vote on November 14th for their choice. But that decision is going to be key. Well, we've been thinking how we can support the process on November 14th. We told them wise that there are some group of people that are vulnerable. They may not have the courage and the energy to go to the poll. So we decided to provide for our very elderly people and our very disabled people 300 bags of 25 kg for it to be distributed by our leadership, Team Sarah leadership in the county. Is intended for the entire county where people will have a little bit of food to eat on or before the day of the election so they can have that energy to go to work, to go to the elections and vote their choice. So that's the reason why I called the press to, turn over these 300 bags of it to the executive committee of Team Saras and all of distribution to our county leadership.
Momo Saras is Lofa County Senator-elect. With about 7 days to the November 14th runoff elections, schools of residents of District 5 in Mansuratu County have pledged support to the re-election bid of President George Weah. The residents, many of whom claim to be members from various opposition political parties, said their decision is triggered by their personal relationship with Foreign Minister Mazo Kemian, who has peacefully lived with them over the years. The Mansuratu County District 5 resident added that the presence of Foreign Minister Mazo Kemian in the district and being an official of the CDC government, the district stands to benefit more development projects should President George Weah be re-elected. For his part, Foreign Minister Mazo Kemian expressed gratitude to the residents of Mansuratu County District 5 for the recognition and their decision to support President George Weah's re-election bid.
Where I live, before even going in government, I don't mind thinking that I was going in government, but anywhere I live, with humility, I went to that built that house when we lived 25 years ago, where we lived in the big town hall. And since more than 25 years we live in this district, no one, absolutely no one. And us. Now, one day, in more than 25 years, that we've given an argument. No one has any issue with us in the community. And then
The voice of Liberia's Foreign Minister Maswell Kemian Ella. You listen to the voices of residents of District 5 in Mansourado County. The chairperson of the board at the Antidote International Center, Councillor Sylvia Chancy Red, is admonishing traditional leaders in the country to halt their practices in the wake of the electionary period. Madam Red said the utilization of the traditional culture symbol as a critical root has a critical role in traditional society, but noted it should not be allowed during the elections period.
I am the chair of the board of the Angie Brooks International Center for Women Empowerment, Leadership Development, International Peace and Security. It is within that organization, Angie Brooks, that was the women's situation group. So we're very pleased that yesterday, Kawa provided an opportunity for the Angie Brooks to come and talk about our major concern, amongst others, in terms of the elections past and what's upcoming, is the issue of the utilization of our traditional cultural symbol. In particular, we're talking about what we call the country devil, which has a critical role in our traditional society. She discussed this. That role, however, excludes their participation or interference with the electoral process. It is not allowed. This is history, and this is indeed what is part of our culture. So, Councillor and the team, you were here yesterday with the team. This is our former mayor and other eminent women. They met with Chief Shazakawa at the office yesterday and talked about this. So the chief invited us to be here present, have a presence here today, where he in turn be conveying his position and his message that indeed we will not exploit our cultural heritage and what is critical for us, and basically abuse the concept of the country devil. When we convey this, and all of his entourage agree and understand that the country devil is not supposed to be brought out any part and parcel of the upcoming runoff elections. This is part of the process of Liberia being proud of our peace and security that we are promoting. We do not want all of this. So that is what our presence was here today. The show is the chief, and we were present. Okay, we were here to respond to his request that we are here for this evaluation by the conveyances. So we want to thank you all. We want to thank you all for receiving us here, and that we are all on the same wavelength. After all, right, we want to continue the peace and security of this nation. And I say this because the issue is Republic of Liberia, right? That is our concern. We're not talking about any republic of any political party.
Councillor Sylvia Chancy Red is the chairperson of the board at the Anchiesbrook International Center. Over 1,000 women of District 3 in Montserrat County are vowed to support the re-election bid of President George Weah in the November 14, 2023 run-off election. The women drawn from various village saving loans across the district said the decision is triggered by the support given to President George Weah by their former representative candidate Patrick Coleman. Speaking on behalf of the women, Gloria Nangwed of the Women of Faith Blue Continuum Village Saving and Benny Wilson said their respective groups were established years back by Patrick Coleman as a means of making them self-reliant.
Because of the endorsement that he said he wants to vote for President Weah, we ourselves are putting eyes around him to also do so. And so we go from door to door to encourage people to vote for the president, for the betterment of our nation. The group was founded in the year 2022. I saw that women needed to go out and fellowship with a lot and see the well-being. So I decided to put this group together, and they decided to buy my idea. This is why we got together, and we asked the Honorable to help us in that direction. They help us, and I appreciate this effort because it's Women of Faith organization. We knew that this square block road, it was the part of the president. This is why Kota is on this road. And he did some other things, and so because of that, we published and we have that anxiety to vote him. I'm the head of the Benefiting Group that was established by Honorable Patrick Moya. In this Benefiting organization, we have about 7,000 members in the district. Our head have already decided to join the winning ticket. He have already endorsed the winning party. So who are we to say no? Wherever he goes,
organization. 3, the saving organization. We are following our head 100%. In the second round, we will work along with him. We will do whatever we can do to see the party winning. Thank you. CDC. Number 2 ticket.
In appreciation, the former Montserrat County District 3 Representative candidate Patrick Comayan lauded the people of the district and promised to foster development once President Weah is re-elected.
I'm sorry, I will always stay with you. I will still be around. I want you, as my women, to also stay with me. Stay with me in this process. I just saw the group we launched last day. They were sharing a disbursing ability program. I was so happy. I was sharing here. When I saw the women there, they guy me. When they come home, they cry. I said, what not the reason? I don't want anybody to start worrying. To say, oh, party lost. No. I am cool. The second round election, I'm your arrowhead. The thing I was telling you, I'm taking it for you. I ain't not happy. Come by again. I'm just going to tell you. Just show me the process. That's why and make sure President Weah get a second term in office. In your arrowhead. I will never let you down. The second round of the election, I have endorsed the candidacy of the President George Manuel Weah. Let's work together. As we started before, I will always be with you. So that's the line I have taken as your leader. I want to use this time to plead to your conscience. Throw me in that fight, and we'll all learn together. I will always be here with you in whatever condition, whatever situation you find yourself.
Patrick Comayan is former Montserrat County District 3 Representative candidate there speaking earlier. You listen to the voices of women of various village saving loan in the district. Well, folks, that's all the time we have to be with you on today's edition of the news program. As we take leave of you, these are the top stories we have been following. With about 7 days to the presidential runoff election in Liberia, Place grassroots development movement stand up bearer Edward Appleton pledges support to opposition United Party of Ambassador Joseph Boakat, says they share the same vision for Liberia. 3 civil society organizations in Liberia expressed concern over alleged election irregularities in District 2 Maryland County, involving House Speaker Dr. Barbara Chambers and Representative Kennedy Anthony Williams, as the county traditional leaders accuse Senator James Banning of being the mastermind of the act. National Patriotic Party Chairman George Maba condemns the holding of political rallies at health centers across the country, calls for political canvassing to be kept away from health facilities for the general good of saving lives. And in foreign news, family members of popular Nigerian comic actor John Okafor, better known as Mr. Ibu, said his leg has been amputated for medical reasons. Thanks to our correspondents, writers, reporters, editors, and those who helped in making today's edition of the news program a success. Olivia Baum read for us the news bulletin, the foreign development. Johnson Batoma ably coordinated the sound. Mine Tobian sat behind the camera and coordinated this entire production. For and on behalf of the news team, my name is Hanson Decker. Good evening.
When it comes to communication in Liberia, Orange is #1.
Orange is the best. Orange is the best. Oh, Orange is the best.
Orange is the best.
Strongest network, widest coverage.
Orange is the best.
Fastest internet speed.
Orange is the best.
People, Orange is the best. Yes, Orange is the best.
Naratama, please woo. Copenhagen, that's a boga Orange. Topaga #1. So we need
Company is the Orange. I don't got the best.
Orange will more you the telephone on.
Reliable, trusted, and dependable.
orange is about 7.
Yeah, orange is whoa.
Orange is the best.
It's all about what matters to you. Orange.
Let me make sure I got all the sanitary items I need. I'm checking my list. Oh yes, one more item. Let me have a big bottle of Dettol, yeah, across the board.
Yes, the total amount is 3,000 LD.
Okay, let me give you your money. Hey, my people, I can't find my purse. Lola, I left it on my kitchen table. My husband are rushing me too much. What's I will do now?
Don't worry, Costa Woman. You can pay with your phone. Here's the code here on the wall.
Awesome. Yes, I do have money on my phone.
With Orange Money, making payments for goods at your favorite store with your merchant is as easy as ABC. Dial *144#, select currency, select pay with Orange Money, and follow the instructions. With Orange Money, life is easier. No stress.
Orange. Orange.